Yeah, so Malfoy's shocked, didn't he? I mean, that's great. And he right away out the gate here on this chapter, he's trying to get them in trouble again for having a broom, and then Flitwick knows all about the Nimbus, and you know, it's Draco's thing. He just wants just jealousy, wants to get him in trouble, just all constantly picking a fight here. Um, the message, let's see here. What does she say?
Yeah, do not open the parcel at the table.
There you go.
It contains your new Nimbus 2000, but I don't want everyone knowing you got a broomstick or they all want one. Oliver Wood will meet you tonight on the Quidditch field at 7 o'clock for your first training session. I'm pretty sure in the movie he opens it at the table.
Yeah, which is come on.
You know, I'm getting sick of these changes. These changes that they're making in these things. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, years later, we're we're upset. God dang it! It makes
Harry. I think it's ridiculous. I do think it's ridiculous that Harry gets a Nimbus 2000. McGonagall's pulling. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not. But can I tell you something? Because I secretly love McGonagall, and she doesn't get enough credit. I don't think. I freaking love her, and I love when she has these moments where she's trying to really take care of Potter, and really, I think we see again. It's all about Harry Potter, and we see how the professors interact with him. But I really do feel like McGonagall looks out for a lot of the kids and is a really good teacher, professor, caretaker, mentor, all of those things, and tries to do right. This is definitely a moment where she sort of house pride gets in there, and she wants to win at Quidditch, and kind of a. I know, Matt, it ain't right. But
I mean, it's just cheating. I mean, I feel bad for the Hufflepuffs. I mean,
yeah, really,
they almost came in third place.
Is Professor Sprout doing is she pulling punches
she
like
sucks.
this?
Wow. I mean,
how dare you say
or she's fair because she's not handing out any free points.
True. We got to work for it. We got to earn it. Oh my
God. She's out there trying to literally drain the swamp, and everyone else is in there playing politics.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, dude.
Hey, I mean, just politics as usual, except Professor Sprout. She's out there fighting the good fight.
Wow.
Trying to
actually
do things the right way. Yeah, literally in the swamp.
I love Professor Sprout. I love herbology. I think it's awesome. And yeah, I promise you guys, I'm gonna make Matt watch Puffs the play so he can get a good look at all House Hufflepuff and all their troubles and their woes. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So this is cool. He gets the Nimbus, 2000. I love that next year. Is it next year, right? That they get the Nimbus 2001, the Slytherin.
Yeah, and then we get the Firebolt, and then we never really learn about Quidditch ever again. To be honest,
right?
At least like how cool certain brooms and stuff,
right? Except for the old ones, they always make fun of like the Clean Sweep 7 or whatever.
Clean Sweep sounds pretty cool.
I know, man. I want me an old fashioned Clean Sweep, But yeah, it's cool. Quidditch is awesome. I love the.
I do think I like the design, actually, by the way, of the Nimbus 2000 compared to the Firebolt.
I am with you on that. I think, honestly, Matt, I think the handling on the Firebolt is not as good as the Nimbus 2000 or the 2001. I think they've got better handling. Outright speed, the Firebolt's got them beat, right? But if you can't make those maneuvers and you can't, there we go. That's gonna pull it up here. Get the screen.
See the Firebolt. This is the Firebolt, right?
Okay.
It's much more straightforward, whereas this it's a little curved. And I like the top Nimbus, there where it kind of curves down. I think I agree with you. I think, I think it would have a better sort of
handling, like some, turning, steering. You think about those those car racing.
Some of these are never even explained.
Oh, do you have them all up there? What Firebolt? Yeah. Okay, keep going. Star Sweeper. Oh my God.
These are
Thunderbolt. Firebolt Supreme.
See, these don't even all have pictures.
Are these in the video game or what the heck?
I don't know.
Just let me pull up let's see, list of Potter brooms. I love when they take brooms and they fly to London and they've got the
see, I like that. I like that curve there more, I feel like boom, you'd have a better.
Oh yeah.
How do you make one faster than the other? How does one make? There's not really a whole lot to the broomstick.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, I got a whole page pulled up here on them. So let me just read through these real quick. This is probably something we would do like in the extended edition, but this is still kind of fun. So the models here, you've got the Airwave Gold, the Australian Flyabout, Blue Bottle. The ones we know are like Clean Sweep 1, Clean Sweep 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and then they jump to 11 for some reason. You've got a Comet 140, a Comet 180, Comet 260, Comet 290. Moon Trimmer, Nimbus, all the Nimbus brooms there. Got a Nimbus 1700. What the heck?
Wow.
Shooting Star was one that I remember from the.
How come they don't use magic carpets?
I bet in other places they do. I think this is just a.
I still gotta say that might be the sickest burn in all of Harry Potter. That might be even more serious than God. What is it? What is it that Crabbe and Goyle use at the end?
The flame,
yeah.
Also
that can destroy a Horcrux. Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, your magic carpet got holes in it. Boom.
Right. Burning, right?
That was good.
Yeah, it was good. That was good. All right. Yeah. So okay, there we go. We've covered the brooms a little bit. I think that's cool to look into those, and we should go through and rank them. We should really look at the text and see, and then.
But Harry's not even allowed to have one because he's a first year. That's what Ron says right here. He says that's a broomstick. He said you'll be in for it this time, Potter. First years aren't even allowed to have them.
Right. It's like that first year going off to college situation. Freshmen can't have a car on campus.
Right. What did you got at home, Malfoy? A Comet 260. Comets look flashy, but they're not in the same league as the Nimbus. Right. What would you know about it, Weasley? You couldn't afford half the handle.
That's just not right, man.
That's a little rude.
That is rude.
Although to be fair, Ron joked at Malfoy first. Malfoy was just, okay, fine. You're gonna jaw me, I'll jaw back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. We do.
I mean, Malfoy should be able to defend himself.
Right, but he did. I mean,
well, he did what?
Who threw the first punch? Okay, Hermione. Going all the way back. Yeah, all the way back to the beginning. Yeah, I know. They go back and forth, and we were talking about tone for this podcast, and there's times where like Matt likes to just point out, like the Slytherins are sometimes picked on themselves.
I try to point out what's fair in any scenario. Right. I mean, right here, like Flitwick comes in. He says, Professor McGonagall told me all about the special circumstance. What special circumstances?
Right.
Gryffindor, they want Gryffindor to win. The rules are either you have one or you don't.
Well, if I don't know if I want more clarity.
It's pretty straightforward. As they say that the rules are,
they're allowed to train with it. They're allowed to obviously be out there and have one that's provided by the school. I just think they can't personally bring.
So for our first years, even allowed to play Quidditch? They must not.
I don't know
if you're not allowed to
have
because I don't. Well, no, because Malfoy plays Quidditch, but that's
who's bringing a broom in their 5th year if they don't play Quidditch? Are they just riding around outside on brooms?
Well, you could still ride around on a broom.
Yeah, you could. I just, I'm just thinking
I think brooms still have a lot of use, even once you're older and you can apparate.
Oh yeah, for sure they do. Yeah. I just meant like I'm just wondering who's really,
who's using it.
We don't really see that. That would be kind of cool to see, like a daily. Just let's go on a broom ride, out over the Forbidden Forest or something.
Like even Hermione comes in right here. So I suppose you think that's a reward for breaking rules. Came up. Hermione was stomping up. Boom. Hermione looking disapprovingly at the package in Harry's hand. Then they go. Then the subject gets kind of shifted, and we switch to. Well, we got it. Then they start talking about all the other stuff. So they don't really talk about Quidditch anymore until we get over here. And then at 7 o'clock drew near. Harry left the castle and set off in the dust towards the Quidditch field. He'd never been inside the stadium before. Hundreds of seats were raised in stands around the field so that the spectators were high enough to see what's going on. At either end of the field were 3 golden poles with hoops on the end. They reminded Harry of the little plastic sticks Muggle children blew bubbles through, except that they were 50 feet high.
Yeah. So Matt, I have pulled up here just some of the rules. So the 7 rules, or 8, I should say, from Quidditch through the ages, which is pretty cool.
Let's go.
All right. So rule number 1: players must not stray over the boundary lines of the pitch, although they may fly as high as desired. The quaffle must be surrendered to the opposition. If any player leaves the boundary, it is unknown what the penalty is if the player on defense leaves the pitch. So you can't leave the pitch. All right. Number 2: timeout may be called at any time by the captain of the team. Timeout may be extended to 2 hours if a game has already lasted for more than 12 hours. Failure to return to the pitch after this time will lead to the team being disqualified. Number 3: penalties can be awarded to teams by the referee. A single chaser may take the penalty by flying from the central circle towards the scoring area. The opposing team's keeper may attempt to stop the shot being scored, but all other players must not interfere. Number 4: contact is allowed, but a player may not seize hold of another player's broomstick or any part of their anatomy. Number 5: no substitution of players is allowed throughout the game, even if a player is too injured or tired to continue to play. Let's see. Wait a second here. So the Quidditch World Cup, at some point, it lasted for days, and the players had to be switched out so that they could get some sleep. Now, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's a violation of the rule. What's going on?
Well,
No
they might have different. They might have different rules.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's 3 more.
I think the minister can pretty much step in and say whatever he wants.
So the rules are just. That's what they do in the match.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's literally like, whose line is it anyway? You know.
Right.
The points, the rules are made up. The points don't matter, and the rules are made up. I mean,
that's right. Yeah.
It's just like the House Cup.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That's the worst. We'll get to that. Our rule number 6 here: players may take their wands out onto the pitch, but they must not be used on or against any player's broomstick, the referee, or any of the 4 balls, or the spectators. Why would you bring it on the pitch then? What would you use it for? I don't know. Number 7: a game of Quidditch will only end once the golden snitch has been caught or at the mutual consent of both team captains. 8: only the keeper can block quaffle shots thrown by the opposing team. Now, there's tons of amendments, and there are fouls and all sorts of stuff, buddy. It's just, it goes on and on and on.
So here's a question for you. So Harry brings up, that's, it's sort of like basketball. And then, of course, Wood says, what's basketball? Because he doesn't know. I get that. It's funny.
Right.
However, I said this before, and I will say it again. At the other schools, it seems to me that there is some sort of physical education. Okay. Because when they all come in, they're doing flips and rolling around and doing all this stuff.
Right.
Wouldn't you actually want to be physically stronger if you want to play Quidditch? Because I mean, especially if you're a beater, the more physically strong you are, the more damage you're going to do in Quidditch.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
why aren't they pumping iron at Hogwarts?
Matt wants to
they seem to be at other places.
Yeah.
I mean, Victor Crumb's a pretty stacked dude. He can do backflips and
right. That's a good point, man. I don't know why I'm looking up all the classes here, and everything is
I don't remember a single time in which they mentioned physical education.
Magical theory, ghoul studies, flying, art, ancient studies. Good God. Yeah, there's just not really any, because even in extracurricular, so it's like, I guess they just like, here's the question. Like, is there a spot where they can go pump iron? That's a big deal. Matt wouldn't go to Hogwarts if there wasn't a place.
I ain't going to Hogwarts if I can't, pump some iron.
Make some gains, man. You gotta, that's,
or, whatever the equivalent is.
Lift some logs. Yeah. I mean,
whatever.
Yeah. That's wild. Good point. It's all, in the book, they sing their song, right? Hogwarts.
Well, and then yeah, they sing songs. I mean, but you'd think that people like Hagrid, because like people like Hagrid would have an advantage, because if he were to be a beater, because he would just he's half giant, he would just kill somebody out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. If he can get I don't know how quick he is or if they can avoid him. That's the other thing.
He doesn't he doesn't have to be quick. He just has to have a faster broomstick.
And that's the thing too. Well, I mean, yeah, but I feel like though that's a great question because can a firebolt like is if Harry's on a firebolt and somebody else is on a firebolt, who's faster? Is it really
support
just
the same weight?
yeah, or is it one of those things like do you have some extra control or connection? Can you get more speed if you crouch further down? If you have better form and technique, can you
Well, I
get
think
more out of
so.
your yeah. It would make sense because it would just be kind of weird if the broom went exactly the same. Like if you could just if you went flat out, right? If you just in a race, I mean,
I think there's room still I think there's still room in the wizarding world to have some sort of physical sports.
right. And so I think you and Professor Umbridge are on the same page, right? That
Right.
there things at Hogwarts, right, are
Yeah,
worse than we think. Worse than
I mean, it's like Hogwarts walks in. I'm telling you, go watch Goblet of Fire, and it's like Durmstrang comes in. They're doing backflips.
yeah,
Fleur Delacour's jumping all
spinning the
around. I
web.
mean,
Yep,
and then here comes Hogwarts. Okay, well, we
I
got
know.
Cedric. Like, I mean,
Cedric. That's freaking awesome. I know, man. I know. So I'm with you. We'll have to. What do you guys think? Should there be an actual
physical
gym class?
education at Hogwarts. I think there should.
Yeah, I think there should too. All right, so yeah, basically this bit, we get all the stuff with the quaffle, Woods going over everything, pretty cool stuff. This is where we learn about Quidditch and chasers, beaters, bludgers, quaffle, the whole 9 yards. And so I read to you guys some of the rules there and things get kind of expanded upon as we go on. Cool bits later on in the series when Ron and his brothers play out in the garden and Ron joins the team later and Jenny, awesome stuff. So
then we pull out the snitch.
yeah. That's Harry's job, right? Harry's job is
Which for the longest time I actually thought was like I always thought the rules of Quidditch were pretty stupid and that it's like really the only thing that matters is the seeker.
Yeah, unless
the other team's up by too many points to where it doesn't matter.
Right. Exactly.
You pretty much then your job is to really kind of play defense and stop the other person.
But inside that first 150 points,
right,
depending on how close it
150, 150 just feels so far away, right? That it's like really it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's true. You'd have to really get up a lot of points to where it's like, yeah, because you're scoring 150 when you catch it. And it ends the game. So if you're at 150 and the other team's at 300 and you catch the snitch, it's tie game. Game over.
Yeah, but see, I think
can it end in a tie? Hold on.
I don't think I don't know that you can. I don't know that it counts if you catch the snitch if you don't have enough points to win. I know they say it ends the game, but I feel like the way they're phrasing that is that what they're really saying is like you have to catch the snitch in order to win. It's kind of like it's kind of like capture the flag, where sometimes it's like you can't score. Like in some rules of capture the flag is you can't score with the other team's flag unless your flag is present. So you have to have your own flag and you have to score. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if your flag's gone, then it doesn't count.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at real quick
I don't know that it's ever specifically said.
Okay, Bulgaria versus Ireland, right, in Goblet of Fire. Let's see. The British nationals didn't fare well. England, they were beaten, let's see, 390-10. Okay, wait a second. Where is it at? Because it's really weird. Yeah, the final score was 170-160. The Irish team performed a lap of honor before being presented with the Quidditch Cup. Let's see. Something happened here because there was a big bet about this. 15 minutes later, let's see. I'm going to read this. This is the 422nd Quidditch World Cup. This is 94 England between Ireland and Bulgaria. Ireland won. I'm sorry, they wore green robes. We know that. All right, they flew firebolt, broomsticks, yada yada yada. Okay. Um, 15 minutes later, Ireland had stretched their lead to 130-10 when chaser Mullet was fouled by Bulgarian keeper Zolgraft and was awarded a penalty. This led to anarchy with another penalty being awarded to Ireland and referee Hassan being distracted by the Vila. Okay, this goes on. Lynch then spotted the snitch, but was beaten in the race for it by Crumb, despite that. Okay, so Crumb gets the snitch, but Ireland still won because he got the snitch too early. So that was the big bet that the Twins had, which was Crumb will get the snitch, but Ireland will win. And then they were right.
Then why would you get the snitch?
See, I think it was so close. See, it's 170 to 160. I feel like someone scored
because you're right. But you're also flying around. It's hard to tell.
Right, and you just have to get it. If you can get it, you're going to get it. I mean, game could get out of hand. Maybe he thought I don't know. They were down. Well, let me look at that score again. There's something. So 130 plus 10 is 1. Okay, so 150, 160. So okay, when Crumb gets the snitch, let's see. It's 130 to 10, right? So if he gets the snitch, they're going to have 160 points. So when the penalty stuff breaks out and the Vila situation happens, he's like, if I catch it, so he's on it, right? He is on the snitch. And if he catches it, it's game over. But while he's doing that, there are penalty shots going on. He's running around catching the snitch, trying to get to get there. And that's when we had, boom, one penalty went in, boom, another one, and so on. And then the game must have been going on, which is wild.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So that was the situation, because I remember that was one of the things. Like I think that score, that outcome is there for folks who were saying the same thing that you were saying, Matt, which is sort of like, yeah, what? I mean, if you get this, how can you get the snitch and then not win?
Right.
And that's just, it has to be a real extreme sort of,
scenario in which it happens.
Yeah. So.